what Buddy, who's talking about breaking the chains. Breaking the chains is about us coming together with the understanding that we have to do something collectively to improve our economic condition. As everybody's probably aware, most of the social problems that we experience in our communities are primarily related to our economic situation. I know a lot of people have been told that we have social problems, spiritual problems, white folks holding us back and all that other stuff, but we realize that our real problem is predicated on the fact that we don't have enough resources to, or we don't have the proper relationship with each other. So I just want to say a few things about economics. Today is not only Easter, but this is the end of Passover. And Passover is a very interesting concept because it talks about, the Jewish situation. One of the things that's very interesting about Jewish people is they have this concept of kosher. And kosher is about economic protection. You can't buy a product in the Jewish community unless it's kosher, which means that it's been approved by the rabbis. But that's more than just a religious thing. That's an economic protection for their people. In other words, they don't buy things unless it's kosher. We have to create a system where we have things that are kosher for us, which gives our people the economic advantage that we need. One of the biggest problems that we have is that we don't understand what economics really is all about. I was just talking to these brothers a few seconds ago. Most people, when you ask them, and I was an economics major in college, most people, when you talk to them about economics, they would immediately tell you that economics is about money. But nothing could be further from the truth. Economics is not about money. Money is just a medium of exchange. Economics is because what do we have to offer them? Do we have jobs? Are we an entrepreneurial people? So the bottom line is that you have to understand what they say about you in economics. Most of us are called wage slaves. We sell our labor in order to make some money. The problem with that is that's not about creating any wealth. If you want to create wealth, you have to have a system in place to create wealth. Now, for people that's supposedly generating $1.3 trillion in this country, we do an abysmal job of really managing that wealth. Even when they murdered Gaddafi in Libya, he was trying to put together a bank, a central bank with $50 billion. That's nothing when you think about the resources that come through our hands. Let me show you an example. Everybody knows in this country, they say the face of poverty is black women with children. Everybody's aware of it. They said when you do the statistics and you look at who is poor, who doesn't have, show me a woman who is single with children, she's facing poverty. Ironically, black women wield a great deal of economic power in this society, and they haven't figured out how to harness it. Brothers say, hey, I don't like that sister, she's wearing a weave, she's doing this, she's not Afrocentric. I say, I'm not mad at her because she's wearing a weave. I'm mad because her sister didn't make it and her sister didn't sell it to her. That's the problem. Okay, I don't care about what she's doing. I care about where is this one going. Okay? Our kids are African people, if you know our people, we're actually the most loving people on this planet. Our kids don't actually go bad. They go bad because where's the opportunity? You send them to these schools, they're miseducated because they're not teaching them nothing that's going to allow them to be functional in the 21st century. I'm talking about today, you need skills. It's a global world. You're competing against people in China and people in India, and you got your black president, because you know there's no political solution. I don't have to tell you that. Now you have the ultimate achievement in politics. You got a black politician, and we know what's happening with us in terms of the job market. We've lost more jobs under this black president than any other president in history. Our situation is getting progressively worse, and it's because we on the grassroots have to make a commitment to economic empowerment. And how do you make that? We have to set up what's called a new paradigm for creating wealth. We cannot have the idea that every time I go into business, I have to have a brick and mortar store on the corner. The internet is helpful, you got click and order, but if you really don't promote it right, you can starve even though you have your business on the internet. So what are we suggesting that you do? What I'm saying is that all of us should use something that the Russians do. Now do your research. When you go Google and see who are the fastest growing billionaires in this country, you'll find a lot of them are coming from the former Soviet Union for a very good reason. Now when we talk about other peoples, you have to remember it's important not only to study your situation as an African person, you have to see how other people in the world dealt with the same problem. Now in the Soviet Union, prior to the collapse of the Soviet Union, every Russian had their own home hustle, because they have what's called socialism and a command economy, and you really didn't make no money. You could be a nuclear physicist and be struggling with money in Russia, but you always had your home business, and your home business was your pride and joy. You sold your goods and services on the black market, and you made more than you made on your regular job. So what are we saying? Your regular job should be your secondary concept for income. The real idea is to get out of a job. Why you don't want to be in a job? A job is what? Jumping out of bed every day, that's what it means, or just above broke. So the bottom line, if you want to change your situation, you have to look at your job as just what it is. It's a means to an end for now, but I should be spending all of my time using all of my intelligence to try to get away from the slavery that jobs represent. Now, jobs are necessary. You got children to feed, we get that. We understand that, but there's no reason why a person should be on the job 20, 30, 40 years and not have nothing to show for it. Everybody knows that the true root of all evil is what? Poverty. It's nothing because, we go to these churches and these mosques and these synagogues and we argue over religion. Our people, listen, if it was a religious thing, our people would be number one. We got churches everywhere. But the churches are just designed to help us cope with the ultimate problem, which is that we don't have the kind of structure that gives us a sense of well-being in this society. How can we be friends? How can the men and the women have harmony with each other when we see each other and we don't see each other as a benefit? But when you start to make money with people, okay, last year my net income was $750,000. And all the people that was associated with me making that money, this year I'm looking at $2.5 million. But last year, everybody associated with helping me make that money, I love to see them. I like to see them. When I see my people in business, it gives me a great deal of joy. This brother has a beautiful restaurant out in Queens. I took my family out there. We had a great time. Every time I run into brothers, I say support that. Because every time you support a black entrepreneur, you are supporting a family. This is important. Don't sit there and look at the news and say, oh, the sister's son went to jail. He's out there selling dope. Or this brother is doing something crazy. We're doing these things for a reason. When you see people into all kinds of vice, this is a reflection of the kind of economy we have. Now, when people start talking about saving black people and black people coming together in unity, Why are you trying to save people who are not showing any love toward each other? We live in communities where foreigners don't show up, we could potentially starve. If that Jew don't come to work, if that Italian don't come to work, if that bodega guy don't come to work, if the Korean grocer don't work, a lot of y'all are. So what we have to do is say that free people know that they have a responsibility to have security being there. Do we really have security? And most time when we go into business, we have to do something that is unique. Okay? Our people are everything. Okay? If you have your house, if you have to, and now you listen, you don't have to rent a will. If you can't make it, buy wholesale. Let everybody know. If I live projects, I know what I would do now. I'm going to buy a wholesale, everybody but me. Because the thing is, we must have that kind of commerce amongst each other. Do you know the great Dr. Amos used to be fond of saying, this is why we're so brutal times and disrespectful to each other? Because we have to be there. Supremacy, in order to function, we must be dysfunctional. In order for us to give our wealth to other people, we are not having the relationships make us really care about it. So I don't want to go somewhere one day, a Saturday on a Friday, with religious who are talking about we believe in this God, we love to say this concept, but nothing to maintain. This is very important. That's why I found the first trip of African redemption. And he says, we don't care what you do. We don't value God. That's your person. Muslim or Jew. If you see history, everyone who brings religions to us is a lot of money for us. I'm not to can't believe what you believe. You have to read that. If your religion is not part of solving your real problem, you don't have a problem. Because the black mind is used to solve black problems. Most of us all our time to react to race and feeling under siege, feeling depressed by the fact we don't have an organization that affects who you are. Why don't we have an African where we appreciate our name, we appreciate the black woman, we appreciate the black man? It's we live in very anti-African societies. Even Africa, you can go to Nigeria, 77% women are trying to bleach skin. This sickness, and it's all related to economics, because if you have white and you have an economic relationship they have with each other, and you look at people, you will realize what we actually lack. Now, if you do a study, look at what you will do quickly, is that people get serious about solving economic problems. Their co-problem, their intellectual, their kids go inspired. No. Imagine you woke up tomorrow, everybody black said, I feel ashamed if I choose my food, my clothes, my housing from anyone other than myself. Do you know what it means for you, entrepreneur? If a person felt compelled to spend their money on people, I was in business with a Jewish fellow, and he told me that John Heights opened a carpet store, and he was getting all this pressure from his associates to buy carpet from him. And he said, I just bought a house, I don't need any carpet. They said, that's important, gotta support him. So imagine if we felt that way. Imagine if when we party at what's called liberation parties, we're not partying, waste our time, giving you to a place. We're giving with the proceeds to some black entrepreneur so that they have something to set up a business. We have susus in the, if you study out in this country, we had banks, we had insurance companies, we had all these other things. We cannot say that we love and respect ourselves without doing these things. And what I like about what we're doing, if you look closely, he has a picture of daughters on back of the post. And that's what it's all about. We should be ashamed to leave this world edition we with our children today. Our children are in trouble. We catch them, okay? You go right in this section, you can go to Canarsie, see what's happening with the Genesis. You can go to Canarsie and all these places, but if you talk to kids, they will not even believe they will achieve the economics that their parents just, 40 years ago. But what that's doing is that we have to stop it for white people to say, there's an economic strategy that we have, or some president, we got to solve this one. One of the best things to do in the most big black market in the world, 20 million long in this whole East with black people. We should not be dealing with white folks. It's not about anybody. We don't give a damn. Black people love everybody. If you waste your time to convince black people to hate anybody, you're wasting it. Everybody come us and love everybody. The problem is everybody don't love us. And the problem is we're loving, and we have to learn to direct that love toward each other. You want to see acceptance, you want to see African, the quality of our social interactions improve. Let all of us commit to everybody's economic well-being. Remember, economics is the way in which we take care of themselves. And we don't give folks permission, don't give them the blueprint to keep our money going in our pockets twice after we get it. It doesn't make any sense. We have a career over the black kid more. That's a shame. You have people like Punch, like Matthew J. Walker, the Honorable Marcus Garvey. By the way, this is the 1st anniversary of founding of the Universal Negro Association. We have representatives right in the audience that are holding, this work. But why it's important is that Garvey taught us very succinctly, we have to put our race first, not because we hate any, but our Bibles want to depend. Your natural market, your own people. That natural. Every Chinaman knows that the next Chinaman is brother, and he acts accordingly. Every Jew knows, every white man knows this, black man is on the fence about this. We gotta stop this. We gotta stop the system that we all on the same path to liberation. The real path to liberation is to get some money in your pocket. Some money in your pockets to guarantee the well-being of children. Have the freedom. Because I used to tell people all the time, black man that I run to, that is happy, that has a family life, that's productive, because he's working for himself. And then I know this catch of pure is trying to work, running on that handbill for white folks. You're going to style of development job, it's very smooth. And the problem is, you can handle it, but what are you doing in your down? They're dumbing out down, they're all involved. You want to be hip-hop stars and basketball. It's not there for South for. Even this thing for men to just homosexualize ourselves in mass. This is a form of suicide. And it's all with the economics. They're not employing strong black men, not employing strong black men. The sister came up to me, I will wear my hair natural, but I can't go to live like this. So sister, that's slavery. Or go to work for slavery because she's not making it, because this is what her real thing is. She said the folks that hire quiet me. And I said, that's why you see a business for yourself. Women, it's good to see many sisters here because I tell them all the time, we are saying our children because we have taught and emphasized economic empowerment, especially of black women. A lot of them control a large segment of the consumer economy amongst us. And we teach them, buy from each other. Set up association. If y'all decided to that we're going to make clothes that we find agreeable. You know how much important it is for y'all? If 5 or 6 sisters say, okay, if this sister sells dresses, just said, oh, this one making scarves, this one said, on here, synthetic here that wear. Get it from me. That's what it's all about. So let's focus on making money. This should be the first of many meetings under Change and other organizations, because a lot of organizations here will learn how to support everybody. This brother doing is good. Very, very good. We have to break the chain. And the very chain is on our brain, preventing us from economic cooperation. Okay? The highest forms of civilization taught the world. The people are not civilized, they know how to cooperate with each other. Now, when I was growing up in Harlem, I'll be 50 this year. When I was a kid, you could go to a black social fund party all night, no guy shot. It happened 3 blocks away down. Today, we can't even realize we're intelligent. We call each other hard names, or we think hard about each other. It's even worse. So that means you go for salvation and other people, all because it's socially organized by other people not to cooperate economically. In order for you, imagine if you live in that one of the greats of business. Business teaches you how to like. I gotta sell something. I don't have time to be playing a game. How you doing? I'm trying to sell it. So nice today. Take 5 minutes of your time. That's why we have to do this. We have to resource ourselves and resource ourselves. So in order for this to take place, we need our people involved in this. Start teaching this to your children very early. Okay? Start teaching nationhood, concept of nation, because if we function not as a nation, it's as a nation within a nation. Jews are one nation, Hispanics are a nation, and those people got own interests. And the only ones as if he's really thinking about it, and we know that's not true. President Kennedy was white. So the bottom line, you gotta wake up and realize that it's gonna happen on the top, it's gonna happen on the bottom. The best in the world, we go every networking scheme, some foreign to bring here. I've been you know, the villa, all the stuff. And when you put the chains lined out, it's foreigners that own this. They're taking advantage of people's desire to have some kind of role in the economy. Find something. If you're a lady, if you're making heat, it's great. If you're producing some kind of food product, if you're a health product, we have to learn to respect the fact that the way of our liberation is formed through economic cooperation. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
All right. CZ, Black. First of all, I want to every one of you, I want you to give yourself a round of applause just for coming. And you are working that way. All right? I want to come to Brother Mike here. So, I've been analyzing this last 2 months, and I see this person from Queens, and he's doing a wonderful job at what we do. And I came to teach him to be here, and he is here, show big difference for me, you guys, and for who is not here, would see at the end of what we were all doing. Brother Michael, I'm happy that you're here for that, and I want to exactly like I did last time. All right.
Greetings, African. Good evening. How are you? My name is Martin. Brother Buddy, I have to tell you that. Hello?